what I wanted to do today, as you've probably seen by the stream title, is that we are 1 week into Renegades, and I kind of wanted to like make a video about where we're at and just kind of like thoughts on Renegades so far. I basically just want to get your thoughts on Renegades after playing it for a week. For starters, I want you to cast your mind back to 1 week into the Edge of Fate. So how were you feeling with regards to Destiny 1 week into the Edge of Fate, whereas, or compared to where we are now, being 1 week into Renegades? Because I don't know about you guys, but it just feels so much different. I feel like there's still so much more for me to do with Renegades than with Edge of Fate. Most fun I've had playing Destiny in a while. Renegades still has some backbone to grind. Did have a raid. Yeah, the raid was in the first week. Yeah, not having to mine Caldera is a huge W, but I'm also max level, so I know how someone not max feels. Yeah, we can get into that. We can get into like the power grind stuff. Edge of Fate, I thought they killed the game and shot themselves in the foot. Don't think so now. For me, it was very much just a like, what do I do now? I've done the campaign. I paid for the skips on 2 characters because my ass was not doing the campaign 2 more times. And actually, I do feel like I could do the campaign 2 more times now for Renegades. I've actually done it once. I still need to do it on my other character, but I don't feel justified in buying the campaign skips this time round. Did you enjoy the campaign more this time round? Like in your initial week? Would you say you enjoyed the Renegades campaign more than Edge of Fate's one? 1 week into Edge of Fate, this feels dead and there's nothing to do. 1 week into Renegades, having fun, just worried they will be able to keep me excited about playing. That is a valid concern. How long is it going to last? We don't know. Had a solid goal of farming light level. Don't really have a goal in Renegades besides going for God Roll Shinies after getting all the lightsaber infection stuff. The gameplay is more fun in Renegades, but I don't really have a goal to grind to compared to Edge of Fate. That is one of the pitfalls of not having our power reset. We're probably going to feel that more in like January and stuff when all of this kind of honeymoon phase has ended. But essentially, what it boils down to is that I think we can all agree where we are now, 1 week into Renegades, is far better than we were 1 week into Edge of Fate, or at least the community sentiment seems to be a lot better. Would you guys agree? By miles. Yeah. So it's very much off to like a stronger start, which is quite nice. Don't have to do Caldera, the game's so back. And now I want to go into like, I've got some notes here. I've got some stuff that I want to go into, and it's like talk about some more specific things that I personally like. You guys might have seen, I want to start with the activity. I want to start with Lawless Frontier. You guys might have seen that last or a few days ago, I put out a tweet. It was literally like 2 in the morning. I was just like loading into another Lawless Frontier job, and I was literally just like passion tweeting like, oh my God, I love this activity. I want to keep playing it. I just don't think I have felt that activity or that feeling about just one more game. Exactly. I feel like I haven't felt that way about something in Destiny in like such a long time. Because normally, you know, I like coming on stream and I like playing the game with you guys. But off stream, recently, especially in the Edge of Fate era, it's been hard for me to just hop on the game and play it because I want to play it. But with Lawless Frontier, I'm very much wanting to go on to the game and just play it off stream because I think it's just fun. I just want to play it more, you know? I think it's probably the best activity that we've had like post-campaign in maybe all time, like with regards to expansion activities that isn't raid and dungeon. So forget raid and dungeon. They're obviously going to be miles ahead. Since Coil, I think Lawless Frontier is better than Coil, to be honest. I think it's much better. Better than Menagerie. Ooh, I don't know. I think Lawless Frontier, it probably is better than Menagerie. If you take off the rose-tinted glasses, I think Lawless Frontier easily beats Menagerie. I might be glazing a bit too hard here because yes, we have only had it for a week, but I genuinely think Lawless Frontier is one of the best activities that Bungie have ever made. Maybe the best post-campaign type of content. And actually, this is something I was talking about with Fred the other day. I don't know if we have any Destiny 1 players in chat. With me playing Lawless Frontier, it feels like grinding strikes in Destiny 1. I get the same feeling where I'm like, oh, just one more strike, just one more Lawless Frontier. Because it's like, it kind of gives me that same feeling where I know I'm gonna get like a nice piece of loot at the end. I might get, you see? I might get like a rare exotic keycard, which I can take to another map. And then that'll take me, it'll basically just keep me playing. I do want to get into that as well, because I love how one of the things it does is it introduces this system where it gets you to keep playing the activity over and over by giving you small items like keycards and currency to encourage you to keep hopping between maps and stuff. And I really like that. I think that's great. Death marks as well. It gets you to go into invasion. The systems that are in place with Lawless Frontier basically never want me to stop playing. And yes, like you said, invasions. Do you want to get into that? I don't know how you guys feel about invasions, but I think invasions are... I was initially a little bit apprehensive because you guys know the state of Gambit right now, and like the Gambit invasion meta is just like so bad for those who still play Gambit in the big 2025. So I was scared that it was going to be like that, but it really wasn't. Invasions are hands down my favorite part of the DLC. I want invasions everywhere in Destiny 2. Not sure what that could look like. Yet to do an invasion, it'll hook you. It'll hook you, Birdsley. Like, you don't even have to like Destiny PvP. Like, chat, you guys have been watching my stream when we have done this. When I'm in an invasion, I have never giggled to myself so much when playing Destiny than when I've absolutely cheesed the hell out of someone by killing them with my mech, or like killing them with my honed edge Izzy with a shot to the foot or something like that. They're just so much fun, and they're also rewarding as well. If you wager 3 death marks, you get a lot of loot. You get like 50 ingots, like 2,000, 3,000 credits. You can then spend those on getting your loot and stuff. Just watch any clip of me having so much fun in invasions, and I think that sentiment is echoed around, you know, the rest of the community as well. What if Destiny 3 was the world's first invasion shooter? Like, I don't know how they could implement invasions into other things, but just starting small, like maybe you're playing the new GM alerts that are coming out today. You're making your way through the sunless cell, and then when you get into the big open area, like invader incoming, and you have to get rid of him or something like that. Just randomly out of nowhere, you just get an invader popping in, which could be quite fun. Bottom line, invasions are very good. I love them. I want to see them more. Perhaps the entire game dedicated to invasions. Maybe that's a bit too crazy, but somebody mentioned Helldivers. I like Helldivers. I think a lot of people who like Destiny would also like Helldivers. Let me know in the chat if you guys have played Helldivers before, because at least to me, I've put about, I don't know, 60 hours into Helldivers, and Lawless Frontier is so similar to Helldivers if you kind of think about it. You know, you've got your Renegade abilities, which are your stratagems. You've got your bonus objectives, different factions that you can fight against, different maps, multiple maps per planet, things like that. It's very cool. And I like it for that. Scratches the Helldivers itch. Yeah, good mix of Helldivers and PvP in it. Exactly. So yeah, and also, I mean, if we actually take a look in game, like if you look, this is kind of more of a portal thing. If you look at the map of the Lawless Frontier, like, isn't this just beautiful? Like, this is so nice compared to what we had last season, and I love a director like this. I guess this isn't quite the director, it's more of like a subsection of it, but if DLCs going forward have something similar to this, where it's like the 3 main planets you can interact with, or just like 1 main planet that you can interact with, and it's just like done this beautifully. Obviously, I don't know how much Lucasfilm Games had in like getting Bungie to make this screen, but it's just beautiful. Like, the first time I saw this, I was like, wow, this is really nice. The 100% biggest thing, this is the last note that I have with regards to the activity. There is no goddamn modifier selection, chat. I can click the activity, I can just choose what difficulty I want to do. There is no way for me to change what modifiers are present. It's just, you get this, deal with it, click and play. Like, oh my god. This is something that is just so simple, but it's so effective. And it's actually something that I wanted them to do, that I said in my Portal video, is like, just get rid of the modifier selection system, get rid of the scoring system. They effectively have got rid of the scoring system with this, because you are always going to be guaranteed A+ with this. I wonder, chat, if originally there was plans for the Lawless Frontier activities to be able to tailor to your expectation, or to your modifiers. I wonder if you were going to be able to do that originally. Something tells me that you've got everything that's like classic Portal activity, but you can't interact with it. There's nothing you can do. So I feel like originally maybe there was something there, but I'm so glad that they went the other direction and just have it so it's click a difficulty and you're off. There are times where I don't get A+. Oh, so it is possible to not get max, is it? Is that like a just time-based thing? Oh, is that what happens when people don't extract? Oh my god. And it's all match made. Exactly. There is matchmaking for every difficulty, including the hardest, and you can go in solo if you want to. Like, that's just brilliant. Chat, if there was one thing that you would say that you don't like about Lawless Frontiers, I think one thing for me is that the bonus objectives are in different places, or that they're in the same place every time. So I'd rather that they perhaps have a little bit more variance, because, you know, with me, I know where every bonus objective is on every map now, so I'm just going to go there first and then get to the rest of them. I haven't got any crystals. Yes, and of course the add density. Yeah, I forgot to mention the add density in the encounter is amazing. Only 1 invade per match should be more frequent. Yes, so that is something I should have talked about with the invasion section, is that how do you guys think that there should be more invasions? Because we've talked about this a lot on stream. An invader is more of an annoyance rather than something you actually have to drop everything you're doing and like focus hard on getting them gone. I don't know how they could change that. Perhaps they need to force you to kill the invader a certain number of times before they're allowed to leave. Maybe the invader is allowed to kill you guys as many times as they can before they can leave, but I think that would probably be pretty bad. Somebody suggested that we should allow invaders to invade once every major objective, which would increase it from 1 to 3 times, which I think could work. Yeah, more penalties for not exfilling, that's something. During extract would be the best time for an invade. Yeah, that would actually be really scary. Spawns are a bit ass sometimes. Yeah, I've had it where like the invader spawns like literally right next to me. But anyway, yeah, that does it for the activity chat. Now I kind of wanted to move on and talk about the loot a little bit because, you know, we talked about it a little bit beforehand, but the loot, at least to me in this expansion, and maybe you guys can leave your opinions here, it's just, I don't know, it's so much more fun. You've got the lightsaber, you've got all of the blaster weapons, and you've got the new weapons, new artifact to mess with, but the blaster and the lightsaber are the main things. You think the loot is lacking? I disagree. So, because the main thing for me with the loot that I actually enjoy far more about Renegades is the fact that I have an example here. So you got this weapon, right? This is the heavy sniper. And I have it with accelerated assault, aggregate charge, and snapshot sight, which is a pretty good roll. And it's even better because it has accelerated assault. So we only have 5 blasters available to us now. But I love this. This was actually one of the points that I brought up in the Portal video, was that Bungie need to start making loot that is rare, that has like an extra origin trait on it, or like an extra perk that the normal versions don't. And this is very much that. Yes, the perks are the same on these shinies, but they come with accelerated assault. So, you know, it shows they have the technology to put like special perks on special versions of weapons. In my opinion, the next level up would be having like a special perk on here. So perhaps like the shiny version of the heavy sniper had Envious Arsenal as one of the perks it could roll with, on top of accelerated assault. But this is like a great start. I love this system. Yeah, exactly. The most I've cared about legendaries in ages, because I don't know about you guys, but legendaries in this game, they just don't feel like legendaries anymore, at least compared to Destiny 1. I know it's like apples and oranges, but blasters make balancing issue for the future, but they are nice. Yes, that is true. Like in general, the blasters, you guys know, or if you don't know, blasters by default deal like 15% more damage compared to non-blaster versions that are like the same gun, and then even more damage on top of that to bosses. So there is like a balancing issue that comes up, but for the time being we can enjoy it. And I love this, bro. Like, look, I got a shiny all or nothing with Firefly, Desperado, Hatchling, accelerated assault, and the loot, I don't know, it just feels really good to earn. And here's another example, is that with the loot, dismantling it is actually like worth it, because if you dismantle it, you get salvage, and you can then spend salvage on more loot. And these are less important, but at least you get something for interacting with the loot, and if you don't like it, you'll get a currency which you can use to get more and like better chance or something else, which is quite nice. Mint Retrograde and the Solar Rocket Side are the only weapons I really cared about last season. Yes, exactly. And now, for me at least, I care about getting special versions of all of these guns with the origin trait, like as many as I can. And I really hope that the dungeon weapons come with accelerated assault as well, or come as curated versions. Like, I have a good roll here on my Uncivil Discourse, but it doesn't have the origin trait. So I want to keep playing Lawless Frontier so that I can get these versions of the guns. And it just like, it creates an extended chase, which I love. I love just having excuses to play Destiny. Don't we all? Speaking of armor, some goated set pieces extra. Yes, actually, I did want to talk about armor as part of the section of this, was part of this section. And I haven't interacted with it much yet, so I can't really comment, but I have seen that if you really like playing with swords, the Sword Master armor set is very good from Pinnacle Ops. The Ferropotent armor set is like a very good alternative to Smoke Jumper, because obviously Smoke Jumper is not earnable anymore. Ferropotent is very good. It's like 10% DR for just having your shields regen. Don't know how long it'll last for, but maybe it's like as long as your shields are regenning. So that's going to be very good. I might actually go and farm Ferropotent armor for contest. There should be no reason these guns shouldn't be tier 5 by default. It shows a stop to the grind. I thought, because, you know, I don't know about you guys, but I thought we were going to go into the DLC and be earning tier 5s like straight away, but then we found out that we had to get the spider upgrade. So I guess that is maybe a negative about the loot, but maybe that's more of a problem with the tier system in general, rather not just Renegades. I like the fact we didn't get showered in tier 5s. Yeah, I mean, I didn't mind it, to be honest, because grinding for the spider upgrade was fun for me. So once you do have the spider upgrade, you do basically get showered in tier 5s. I've basically never had it, so when I complete a lawless job after having the upgrade, I don't get not tier 5s. I always get tier 5s from that, or it seems like it anyway. So all you need to do is get the upgrade, and then like the tier issue is like fixed. Actually, would you guys say that the loot in Renegades is better than Edge of Fate? Because I guess Edge of Fate introduced the new loot, and it did feel good getting tier 5s in Edge of Fate. So I don't think it's like entirely fair to say the loot is better. The loot is really good in Renegades, but is it better than Edge of Fate? It's probably not fair to say. Mint is the only good gun in Edge of Fate, let's be real. Yeah, that and the Solar Sidearm. Next chat. The campaign. Did we like the campaign? Out of 10, where would you rate it? Better than Edge of Fate? Because I have my own thoughts about the campaign. I think the campaign was alright. It wasn't like amazing. I think I personally enjoyed it more than the Edge of Fate campaign, just because it was like simpler, easier for me to understand. 7.5, 8. 6. Final mission was lacking. I actually enjoyed the final mission the most out of all of them. And Fire and Ice. Yeah, Fire and Ice was really good. Gee, I initially was like, didn't know how to feel about Fire and Ice, but when I played it multiple times, I actually ended up enjoying it a lot more. Fire and Ice is a very good exotic mission. Definitely A tier exotic mission. Pushing the S tier, perhaps. Definitely A tier though. No time wasting puzzles, much better than Edge of Fate. That I did appreciate, yeah. It didn't feel like I was stupid and getting stuck in certain parts. Oh yeah, and the cutscenes, chat. Like, oh my god, the cutscenes in Renegades just peak. I don't know how it is Bungie just keep getting better at those pre-rendered cutscenes, but like the opening one, like where the ship gets boarded, and even the last one where Drifter's fighting in space, or like the fight choreography between Bale and Anor in the first cutscene, like that's so sick. Like when she has her stasis gauntlet and it's clashing, or he has his stasis gauntlet and it's clashing with her solar like light, like oh, that's so cool. The cutscenes were insane as always. Better than Edge of Fate in my opinion. Overall, yeah, I'd probably call the campaign like a 7 for me personally. You know, it is memorable in the fact that Bale is a very memorable character. Love Drifter. Drifter to me is like the franchise's new Cade. He's kind of on that level. Like, would you guys agree that Drifter is like the new Cade? Yeah, and Bale crashing out on the Cabal, bro. Like Kylo Ren. That's so funny. That actually made me crack up. And Blue, yeah, we got to talk about Blue. Like her voice actor killed it. Like, Blue is amazing. Oh, she looks different.
You doorknob! You lousy, awful, stupid, waste of light, bottom-feeding leech! Hello to you too.
So funny as well. She's got so many funny voice lines. Like, you know that voice line, chat, that always makes me crack up in Lawless Frontier when Blue's like, hit him where it hurts, and Drifter's like, the knees. Makes me laugh just thinking about it. So the voice work is really good. I will say there were some emotional points in the campaign as well, where like I was genuinely sad after the attack on Tharsis, like seeing all the dead ghosts and stuff. Like when they made you go back there and it was playing like the sad music, you know, that was pretty sad. It actually made me feel something. And I don't think I remember feeling anything with the Edge of Fate campaign. It was good, but you know, like it never really, you know, I like a bit of emotion in my stories. Wish there was an ending cutscene equivalent to Edge of Fate where we got our revelation about potentially heading to Chicago. Yeah, because that was handled in a Lodi voice line, which I guess could have been better. And you guys know about Bale's backstory, right? I watched Aztecross's video, and there's a lore card where like Bale's mum died and came back as a guardian, and obviously she doesn't remember him. And that's crazy. That would have been crazy to see as a cutscene. So in terms of criticism for the campaign, would have loved to see that in there, because then that would obviously solidify his backstory. Spoilers, I suppose. Spoilers for his backstory. But yeah, Bale's mum is a guardian who came back after she died and doesn't remember him. And that's obviously like very motivating for him to hate guardians and hate the Traveler, which I would have loved to see in game. Campaign, 7 out of 10. One of the things that I really did not like about the campaign was the amount of back and forth vendor stuff that you had to do. In fact, I can't remember who said this. Maybe this will open your guys' eyes up to it. With the campaign, it kind of felt like a full episodic story. Think about it. We're going to Tharsis. We talk with Drifter. We go and play an activity. We come back to Tharsis. We talk with Blue. Then we go to another activity. Then we come back. Then we talk to Anor. And then we go and do like a special mission where we board the ship and we blow it up. It's not quite the same as a seasonal story, but in a way it is, in some ways. Whether that's like a detriment to it, I don't know. But I think it's actually a pretty good comparison. Still though, in my opinion, it is better than a seasonal story because we did actually have a fair number of unique missions and the environments in the ships were, you know, very good. But I did not like the amount of like back and forth we had to do with some of the vendors, or it was like a small gripe, you know. Overall, like 7 out of 10, I'd say. But I guess to finish up, chat, that's kind of like it with Renegades, obviously. We have yet to see the dungeon, so that could actually solidify it as one of the better DLCs. But I want to draw your attention now. What is this, chat? This is the Portal. How are we feeling about the Portal? Shittle. We played a couple of these activities the other day, and honestly, it was quite fun for me. I like that they're all match made, which is nice. So glad they added an Eververse tab right on the Portal. Yeah. Don't understand the hate for the Portal. It's the same thing that the Helm became, just stored seasonal activities. Yeah, I mean, I think people hate the Portal less now because you don't have to interact with just this to enjoy playing the game. The majority of the enjoyment of Destiny comes from this screen right here, and less of it comes from here. Like I said, I did get enjoyment out of this. Overall, you know, there are things that the Portal still needs. I still think it needs to encompass the entire game. You know, there's seriously some strong stuff that is being left behind in all of this. We've got entire planets that should be being played for loot. You should just be able to play whatever you want in Destiny. I still hold that stance. Whether they can merge the Portal and the Director together, I don't know. I guess this is kind of separate, but I love the order system. This is one of my favorite additions. I really wasn't sure how I felt about this, because when they revealed the news about orders, I was like, oh, you know, it's just another Portal thing. But after actually having played with it, really like orders. Really enjoy them. The Portal right now is definitely in the best place that it has been in since its inception, and hopefully it just gets better. So that's it for the Portal. It still exists. And then I guess I just wanted to hit like a few miscellaneous notes just to end up. Like the music for the DLC. Like when we make this into a video, I'll probably have some of the tracks from the DLC like playing behind this, like behind these segments, and the music is really good. You know, there was a reason that Bungie had a specific, like, had a whole section of the Vidoc dedicated to the music, which is really good. Really like some of the tracks, and I'm sure the dungeon music is gonna slap as well, especially with Michael Salvatore being back now, which is really nice. Please include Bale's theme. Basic Bale's theme. Then we had the Vault upgrade as well. Kind of going through these points. The Vault upgrade is nice. Like, out of 10, chat, how are you liking the new Vault? For me, honestly, I haven't interacted with it much, but I'd just say, like, it's probably 10 out of 10 now. Honestly, the thing that would actually make... I'll say it's a 9, but the thing that would actually make the Vault a 10 out of 10 for me is having a search function. Like, literally just being able to type. I just want to be able to type into my Vault. And I guess what I want to finish up with, chat, is... Now that we've discussed everything, how do you see yourself looking back on Renegades in, like, 3 months' time, 2 months' time, when Shattered Cycle comes out? Do you see yourself looking back and thinking, you know what? Renegades was one of the best DLCs we've ever had? Or is it going to be like, Renegades was really solid and it was a great step in the right direction? I hope that is the way that I look at Renegades when we finish up. Edge of Fate was definitely not that. I think Edge of Fate, you guys know what happened with Edge of Fate, you know, depends on the dungeon. Yeah, I'm gonna have to wait for the dungeon to really solidify my judgment on it. So far, so good. In the right direction. Lack of content will become very apparent though. Yes, that is something we are going to have to deal with in January, February. Hopefully we have some cool events like SRL maybe. But I really want to look back on Renegades in like 2 or 3 months time and just think like, you know, Bungie did something right here. They set us in the right direction. They took us out of a rut, a very big rut, perhaps the biggest rut. I hope just from Renegades onwards that we keep going upwards and onwards rather than backwards and downwards like we did with Edge of Fate. So yeah, at least for now, Renegades is off to a very good start.